There's one thing I just want us to put across. I think we have the feeling of we've achieved, but to be honest, as from where I see it, I think cabinet is our first achievement because that finance bill Ruto Anatubeba wana, it's gonna pass. The deadline for that bill is 14th of July. The law says if a bill is not assented to, is not signed, that means the president does not sign the bill within 21 days, hata airudishe Sugoi, airudishe USA, airudishe parliament, and there's no special seating to actually take that bill down. Itapita. Na 14th July is 4 days away from here. Na sijaona special sitting yote imeitishwa. And to make even matters worse, the president assented to the appropriations bill. The appropriations bill is just basically inasema venye ile pesa iko kwa finance act venye ingespendiwa. So already he has money to spend. I'm just thinking that finance bill, I know we have the feeling of we've won, the finance bill was rejected, but I am an advocate and I don't want to say without an element of doubt. That thing is gonna come. It's there with us to stay. So I think even as Kina Kimuzi and the other bigwigs, I think that is something we should start shedding more light upon and focusing on, because that was our first goal, but amechange goalpost. Alitupoesha ni kama venye anafanyanga na hizi committees, NADCO and everything, kutupoesha, and that's why there's the same reason why he brought Baba on board. Thought lines say that ni kutupoesha. By the time umona Ruto ameendea mzee, si rahisi. You guys remember, this is the same government when Raila was alikuwa busy wanaandamana, they shot at his car at close range. You guys, I just want you to understand that. By the time Raila was coming over there, it wasn't that he was he did it willingly. No, nitu kukua coerced. So we've really held this guy by the balls. So sorry to say. The other thing I want us to think about, and this I said in another space, IBC. As we're rallying for IBC, guys, how can we have IBC with the same Ruto? As in, me, I don't trust him. If we have IBC with the same Ruto, then let us demand those servers that will be transmitting our results zifunguliwe tuzione. It's either or, because if we trust Ruto fully to have his hand in IBC, although we'll be the ones will ratify the commissioners who are being picked, but you know he's still the president, yeah? Last year Raila alikuwa anasema kuna deep state. Kumbe Ruto ndo kuna the deepest of state. So if this guy still has that deep state and tumemonyesha hii embarrassment yote, he's going to want to come back in 2027. So as we push for IBC, I think it should be in everyone's mind that IBC with Ruto is not something that should be viable. I think the next person to speak is Esther Karaoke. Let me interrupt kidogo. Okay. Kimuzi, let me drop as a co-host. Manata nilale. We've been here the whole day. So Kimuzi, kesho tutahold ile space ingine na Pillow of Hope. I hope alikuwa hapa tu saizi kwa still here. Yes? Bado yuko namuona, I think.
Yo, Kevo, I really hope nitakuwa. Nilikuwa hata kuchukua 2 day break ni kumzike, nifurahie hii ni like hii small win, then sasa I'll be back because mentally nimekuwa imenistrain.
Hata mimi sitakuwa Saturday na Sunday, so weka space kesho, then we can take a break on Saturday and Sunday. Sawa?
It's okay.
Mtaongea naye time, then you'll communicate it to me. Alafu huo demo Perpetua mwenye nimekutumia handle yake, msikose kumadd, but I really wonder who will marry her. Oh, that is a crazy woman, msee. Na hiyo namba yangu inakuwa so private, so possibly ni mabeshte wangu tu wamempatia, na beshte yangu mwenye naona hapa ni Shanky. So kama na umepeana namba yangu, you really need to do some growing up. Lakini msikose bibi. Hautaki bibi? Ai, wewe ni mwenda wazimu bana, unacheza na mwenda wazimu. Good night, guys. Good night. Esther, you can speak. Thank you so much. I want to just be very brief, but I want to really drill in one point. This issue has been raised before, the issue about education, but I really want to drill it in because what I've noticed is in every level of education in our country, this Ruto government or regime has attacked our our children and our future generations. Nataka tukairada tupiganie hawa watoto. Haya, tuangalie from birth. Linda Mama was scrapped. Haya, next, Edu Afya, which was covering school children, afya ya school children, pia hiyo ikakuwa scrapped. So maternity services available only to the rich. Afya, health services in schools available only to the rich. Higher. The next thing Ruto went after is the school feeding program. It's been removed from the 2024 finance budget. Now, school feeding, for people who come from, I come from a family, I come from a poor family. And what I noticed, in fact, we were blessed, but we were surrounded with so much poverty. And what I noticed, wherever there was a school feeding program, whether the parents were educated or not, whether the parents even wanted their children to be educated or not, they would send the children to school. Why? Because that would be the only meal that is available for that child. Poor families in the slums, in the and we have to remember that we are a third world country, so we're talking about majority of our population. They struggle to feed their children 3 times a day. That school meal is a ticket not only for those children in poverty to get a meal, but also to get an education. Once you scrap the school feeding program, how many parents are going to say, wake up and go to school? There's no meal for their children. How many children can study in hunger? Ruto knows. He knows. This is why I'm so happy with what Kimozi is doing on this app, because we have to fight constant. We have to, if we have to take drugs, we have to be awake rather day and night. Because Ruto knows removing the school feeding program is literally eliminating the poorest of the poor from school. Education yao kando. And one thing that I noticed when the Ruto started campaigning for government, his symbol for the Kenyan people in his government was a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow. Akina Uhuru hata kama aliiba, at least alikuwa na aspirations. Remember the laptop, for school children? At least there was an aspiration for the Kenyan people. And at least in the Uhuru government, education was not attacked. Linda Mama iliweko, the school feeding program was on. Edu Afya was on. The university school fees hazikuguzwa. HELB haikuguzwa. Hata kama aliiba, and we should go after him as well. Sisemi afisa mehewe. We should still go after him to return what he stole. But this Ruto government, Ruto knows the people he is hurting when he goes after these programs. Linda Mama, it means our future generations from birth, if you're not rich, hakuna education, no health. In our constitution, this constitution everyone is praising, education and health are enshrined as a right. And we were excited about that constitution because of what the previous governments have done. The Ruto government is the only government that has gone after university education in Kenya. Hata sikuwa nimefika hapo. I am so angry about this issue. Haya, tumetoka primary school. Hata sijamalizana na primary school. The capitation for children has gone down from 22,000 to 17,000. That's the amount of money that was allocated by the government for each child. In the Uhuru government, it was 22,000. In the Ruto government, it has gone down to 17,000, which means the schools have to hike fees and other miscellaneous cash that they have to hike their fee structures. Again, this hits the poorest. And remember, there's no school meals. It hits the poorest. And I want an economist or one of the people in the panel to tell us
how many people in what percentage of our population lives under the poverty line, so we can understand how many people are being locked out of education. So that's